Trauma bonds. Let's break it down for some of y'all. I remember I met somebody who told me that they didn't want to get with me because they didn't want to be trauma bonded. Immediately I heard that and I was like, you don't know how this shit works, bro. Trauma bonds are not a mutual thing. Now, they can be sometimes, but a trauma bond is for an individual. Trauma bonds are your own personal experience. When you have a trauma bond with somebody, you are physiologically bonding with this person because you are lacking in some sort of crucial human need. You know what I mean? Whether it be physical touch, whether it be socialization, whether it be whatever. Whatever history you have of not receiving a certain type of affection or just any crucial thing to human nature, if you go to one person and you take that person as the sole provider for that thing, you will become trauma bonded to them. You will. You just will. I think trauma bonds are tricky because they can come in many forms. The only way you really know how you get trauma bonded to people is that if you go through it. That's the really messed up part. Is that it's hard to know what these things are within you unless you go through it. Now, you can figure these things out mentally, but it's physiological, you know what I'm saying? It's not like purely something you can think your way through, because when you go so long without something and you experience so much of life without something, and then suddenly it's in your life, you go haywire. Your brain just starts forming all of these newer pathways and you start associating it with that person. And now the only way in which you believe you're experiencing this newfound feeling is because of this person's presence in your life. And so you want more of that, more of that. You just want to reel it in all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. You just want to reel it in. This can be a really, really dangerous and suffocating thing because to some degree, it can become a drug to where you need that physical reaction so badly all the time that you start demanding this person's presence. You start demanding that they're around you when you want them to be. You start demanding that they become a full character in your life, even if they're not right for you, bro. Like it's just a fact that this person can provide you this feeling, and you think that they're the only person that can provide you this feeling. I think the best way to get out of a trauma bond, because it's almost like a reaction of a drug, cutting that person out is gonna kill you, bro. Like I'm talking about like on some different shit. You waking up in cold sweats. You waking up thinking about shit you shouldn't be thinking about because this shit really messing with your head. And I mean like it's gonna mess with your head like in a different way. But the more time that you take away from it and you allow your body and your mental state to rehabilitate itself, and I'm talking you gotta go out and experience life, bro. That thing that you convinced yourself that only this person can bring to you, start finding spaces where you get that feeling. And it don't even gotta be with other people. Start creating those feelings for yourself. Because that's the thing that keeps a lot of people trapped in these trauma bonds, is that they don't know how to be loving on themselves. And the thing about loving yourself is like, it's through action, bro. At least for me, it's through action, bro. Because you gotta understand your body and your brain doesn't understand. Like language is such a hypothetical thing to the human mind. It's such a hypothetical thing. What the human mind really processes is actions. The human mind can only process what is done, what it sees. The fact that we can smell, see, hear, all of these are senses, it's extra. It's extra, bro. What the human mind really cares about is action. So, you over here talking about they make you excited. That's dopamine. Go for a run. Go jogging. Go try some new physical activity. You gonna get dopamine, bro. You talking about you scrolling on your phone all day. That's not gonna help you. That's not gonna give you any more dopamine. Cause now you gotta understand that when it comes to addictions, there's like thresholds, right? The human mind has sort of like a baseline emotionally, and if this person takes you above your baseline, this becomes the new normal to you. And now anytime you come back down here, you're gonna feel depressed. And when you leave this person, you're gonna go below your baseline. And if you've never been here before, it's gonna feel excruciating. You're gonna feel lonely, you're gonna feel anxious, you're gonna feel all sorts of negative ass feelings that you ain't know you could feel. So what you need to do is you need to learn how to bring yourself back up to your baseline, and then bring yourself above your baseline. And I'm telling you, the next time you meet that person, the next time you see anything to do with that person, you not even gonna be phased. You not even gonna be phased, bro. You not even gonna care at all. You not even gonna care. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to go the extra mile for yourself. You gotta be willing to put in work like nobody else has ever put in work for you. Because if you can't do more for yourself than anybody has ever done for you, you're always gonna feel like you need somebody. You always gonna feel like you need people, and people can sense that. People can sense the fact that you feel like you need them. People can sense that. People can sense the fact that there's something that you're lacking in life, and they might have it, and they gonna feel like entitled to you now, cause they feel as though they can string you along with that thing that you want so bad, and do anything and you just gonna be like, you just gonna be a yes man. Like imagine you having that power over somebody else. How would you feel about them? How would you feel if they stepped out of line? You probably would just dip. It's some cold-hearted people like that, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Like, you can't be mad at nobody for that. But at the same time, you gotta understand too that some people go through negative things, and their first thought is that they want to inflict that upon somebody else to make themselves feel better. Some people actually don't think that, hey, I went through this shitty thing. Let me try never to do this to somebody. Let me heal and make sure I'm in a good place to not do this thing to that other person. Because it's only human nature. It's only human nature to have bad things done to you and to want to do it to somebody else. Because karma is like that. Karma is an energetic cycle, and it's strong. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta process that shit. You know, and physical activity is the best way. Physical activity is the best way to process anything. You know, you go to the gym, you go for a run, you do something physical with your body, and you just gonna start processing through stuff like you can't even explain it. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of other things to help process your thoughts, but I feel like movement, physical activity is the best way to do that, because your brain, you know, there's this chemical in your brain called myelin. Myelin is sort of this, like, I guess it's supposed to be this tar sort of like structured thing that allows your brain to form new connections. And something that helps myelin grow is repeated action. It's when you do something over and over and over again. And some people get so good at manipulating you psychologically that they genuinely can dumb you down. They genuinely can make you so like isolated and like physically dead to the point where your brain just starts turning back on itself. It just starts, you know? So you got to figure out a way to keep your brain moving without that person. You can't rely on a person for mental stimuli. That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. Like, you know, that can't be the emphasis of your life. It's super important to be able to have meaningful and thoughtful conversations with people. But to what extent? You know what I'm saying? To what extent can you be around somebody just for a good conversation? You can have, you know, get on Omegle, bro. You have a good conversation with somebody from fucking Antarctica. Like, you know what I'm saying? As much as physical interaction is important, if that's what you're lacking, you can't have just one person only for that. That is insanity. That's insanity, because your mind will close itself off to the world. Your mind will close itself off to anybody else, and your whole existence will become about that one person because you are repeating that. So your brain will start to believe that.